everybody's has been flipping back and forth. Shedeur or Cam as the first quarterback taken in this draft. Let me just say you have a top 3 pick and you're looking for a quarterback. Who are you taking first, Shedeur or Cam Ward?
I'm going to go with SHEDEUR Sanders for my pick, and quick reasons why. When you're picking in the top 5 and need a quarterback, you got a bad team. You probably got a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator. And when I look at the collegiate career of SHEDEUR Sanders, I see a young man who played 4 years of college ball with 4 different coordinators, 4 different offensive systems. I've seen a guy have to command and demand leadership with having a subpar offensive line and still getting the job done. I've seen the guy go out and do things when the defense had failed on their part to do things, or special teams. When you talk about the leadership, the ability to stand in front of a microphone, whether you're cutting a ribbon at the Children's Hospital or having a press conference after a tough game, all the things that a franchise needs in their quarterback when you're picking in the top 5, give me SHEDEUR Sanders, because he has all of those things, plus he knows offense, knows how to read a defense, and he can move the ball down the field. I would go SHEDEUR Sanders as my top pick as the first quarterback taken in the 2025 draft.
Yeah, I think you can flip a coin, and I think it's just based on style. Well, what do you want? Do you want somebody who you want? If you want to move the pocket, you probably go Cam Ward. If you want somebody to sit in to be a general from the pocket, and you probably go SHEDEUR. So for me, I probably go SHEDEUR just based on the fact of seeing his toughness more than anything. Seeing that when things get rough, or can he get the ball out quickly enough? I think he can. So I just think for right now, you got to go SHEDEUR. But I'm a 1A 1B type guy when it comes to that. Like, I don't think it's a whole lot of difference. These are 2 great quarterbacks, and I think we're gonna be watching them go against each other for years to come. And it's gonna be one of those drafts that we look back on like we looked on the draft with Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning, and like it's one of those type drafts. So I would go with SHEDEUR, but Cam Ward ain't far behind at all.
Not at all.
I think it's going to be a factor of location also. So let's say Tennessee takes, a non-quarterback with their top pick. Now you have Cleveland and the New York Giants sitting right there. If you're the Cleveland Browns, you got to trade away Myles Garrett. You're going to have extra capital. You could probably get a quarterback later. Do you go with a guy like Abdul Carter to fill in that role and then use those pieces as far as draft picks that you got from the Myles Garrett trade to bring in a quarterback later to your team? What do you guys think about that? If you're the Cleveland Browns, do you take SHEDEUR still, bad weather situation, or do you take Cam, or do you go a different direction?
I still stand on the same answer before, and I can mix it with what Duke said and what you're trying to look for. Both Cam and SHEDEUR have the same trainer and select QB and Darryl, so like they know the rigors of what they're facing. I will say that there's times during Cam's career whereas he got Miami out of trouble, it was early on in the game that he kind of quote unquote put them in those troubles with some ill-advised play. And SHEDEUR is one of those guys who can get you out of trouble, and it's not necessarily the trouble that he created, because he takes care of the ball at a higher clip than most quarterbacks that age or even with some NFL experience. So I think anybody in the top 5 looking for a quarterback, I'm still going to go with SHEDEUR first, even if it's a challenging place like the Browns. I think the ripple effect, though, Chico, is do the Titans stand on what they have said, even though they didn't use a name, paraphrasing, they basically said there's no way they're going to pass on a once-in-a-lifetime athletic talent when they got the first pick. Reading between those lines, that means they're going to take Travis, which leads the next teams with, to choose from these 2 quarterbacks.
And I think the Cleveland Browns could be looking to trade down if a team like the Raiders entice them with enough draft capital to move down. And I think they'll still be able to get their player that they're eyeing if it's a guy like Abdul Carter or a non-quarterback. They can trade down, get more picks, and still get a quarterback, I think.
Absolutely, Chico. I think you're spot on right there. With the departure of Myles Garrett, the challenges that the Browns have, drafting a quarterback in the top 5 doesn't solve their problems. They have the ability to trade back, let somebody else get that, and pick up more what they need, because they need things across the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's going to be the final move. So, hey, SHEDEUR Sanders or Cam Ward, let us know in the chat right now. What are you guys thinking? Let us know also, what do you think about the morning run and our over an hour-long discussion right here. Myself, Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, and Dukes the Scoops.